Alright, what is going on YouTube? This is your boy PXG Cash Howard, and no, there's nothing wrong with your YouTube screen. That is a black screen. So, I decided to start uploading the videos for the second league that I joined. The second league being the Pokemon Forever Association. The reasoning being, even though I'm already in another league, I figured using different Pokemon will probably get me an idea of, what to kind of do, because the overall purpose of me joining both of these leagues is to better off myself when I do my battle streams. Now, there are some differences between this league and the other league. One being the number of pokes. This time around we have 12 pokes. The other league only has 11. And whereas the other league we follow the tiering system of the GPA format, where they have pokes listed under tier 1 through tier 5 and a tier mega, and then a certain number of pokes that we can draft based off of the point system that each poke in the tiers have. This one is your strictly, we're picking 3 per tier. OU, UU, OU being overused, UU underused, RU being rarely used, and NU and PU are combined into one, and I'll just call it the never used tier. Now, another key difference is the fact that one poke that we do draft, we're stuck with for the entire season, so we are not allowed to trade, drop it for nothing. As you can probably imagine, everyone probably picked a very good Pokemon to be their franchise, probably to make sure they don't fight it around the league. Another thing is that we actually have names for our teams. So, anyone who knows me, I'm very bad at naming things. Unless spur of the moment to make a joke, I do not know how to pick out names. So, being that my logo is a Pancham, obviously my team name is a Pancham, can you guess my city? Probably not, because it's not a city and it's a country. Boom, we're the Puerto Rico Panchams. And before anyone says it, this was not made in paint. Granted, I could have probably made something better, but considering I literally had like probably 2-3 minutes and not enough time to probably go ask someone to make me one, this is what I made. Probably down the road I'll modify it and probably show you guys something more presentable, but for the time being, you get this. Now, I'm the Puerto Rican Panchams coach, as you guys, like I said before, PhD Cash Howard. Let's see who's in the squad for the Puerto Rico Panchams. Alright, and there they are. Up left, we got Heatran, a Fire Steel type. We got Hitmontop, Fighting type. Venusaur, Grass Poison. Electros, Electric type. Gyarados, Flying Water. Black Curum, Dragon and Ice. Golurk, Ground and Ghost. Tauros, a normal type. Umbreon, a dark type. Furfrou, also a normal type. And Groudon WoW, Nidoking, Ground Poison. Now, the reason I skipped the lovely Gardevoirs because, like the other league, we're allowed 1 Mega Poke. I did not choose Mega Altaria, unlike most people that assumed that I would have. Instead, I went with Mega Gardevoir because look at how fancy she looks in her Vera Wang dress. So now, you're probably trying to guess which of these pokes is actually my franchise poke. Because like I said, this poke I cannot get rid of for the entire season. I am stuck with this poke for the entire time. So your eyes are probably looking at directly to probably the OU tier, where Heatran, Black Curum, and Gardevoir reside, and you are correct. The Pokemon I chose to franchise was Heatran, which I was kind of surprised was still available, considering how it's a poke I think I've seen in every single OU battle, no matter where I go. Can probably be fully attacking, be defensive, be a jerk. It's probably one of the key direct what's the word I want to use? Probably the best defense when it comes to fairy types, among other things, being as his only weakness is ground and water and fighting. But I chose Heatran. Hopefully that decision doesn't come back and bite me in the end. But yeah, this is the Puerto Rico Panchams. So now for week 1, I don't remember my opponent's team name. So actually no, I do. We fought Chimchar Red, aka Vinny, and the Los Angeles Lucarios. And boom, there we are. For this battle, I went ahead after reviewing everything as usual. Decided to go with Heatran, Nidoking, Mega Gardevoir, Black Kyurem, Gyarados, and Hitmontop. Now, the one thing, if you guys remember seeing the other league battle, for the other league, I really didn't have something for Doublade. And looking back at then this one, it's one of those situations where it's like, I kind of have something for you, but at the same time I don't. So it's kind of one of those, let's see how I can actually do this. Vinny brings Serperior, Doublade, Uxie, Mamoswine, Raikou, and Almastar. Now, one thing I will point out is the fact that I'm very bad at remembering if something was shiny or not, so don't be surprised if a sprite randomly switches throughout the video to become shiny or not. Alright, so without further ado, this is the first battle for my first battle for the Pokemon Forever Association, the Puerto Rico Panchams versus the Los Angeles Lucario, and let the battle begin. So I lead this battle off with Heatran. He, on the other hand, leads this battle off with Lord Helix himself, the Almastar. So quickly I recall, because I do not want to eat any water move this thing have, and I go into Kyurem. Terravolt, probably scaring this poor thing. He goes for the Shell Smash. Shell Smash dropping the defenses, increasing the speed, and both its attacks. Now, he does have Mental Herb. So now it makes me wonder what he does have. I go for the Earth Power. It was a crit. Hurt really bad, and that's what he had, a Focus Sash. I lower his special defense. He goes for the Ice Beam. I take it like a champ, somewhat. He recalls his Almastar, goes into UC, the Uxie. I go for Earth Power again. And as we've known from before, Uxie is very defensive. I recall Kyurem and go into Heatran. He goes for the Stealth Rocks. I believe I also go for the Stealth Rocks this turn, but he recalls his Uxie into Lord Helix, the Almastar. No, I actually went straight ahead and Lava Plumed. He probably predicted that I was going to go for the Stealth Rock, but with that, Lord Helix is down already. He goes into Manny, the Mamoswine. I recall and go into Gyarados. The Intimidate kicks in, lowering his physical attack because Mamoswine is a physical attacker. He goes for the Earthquake. I'm not affected by it, as I'm levitating. Recover some health with the leftovers. He recalls Manny. Back into UCD Uxie. I go for the Dragon Dance. And go straight into the waterfall. Hopefully with the boost it does a little bit more damage. Not much. He goes straight for the Thunder Wave. Now halving my speed. I still go get the recovery from the leftovers. He recalls his Uxie. Goes into Snack. The Serperior. I go straight into the waterfall again. Now, Serperior does resist it because it's grass type. But it did probably a little bit more than we hoped, but because Serperior is not really physically defensive. I recall Gyarados and go back into Heatran because every Serperior, as we all know, goes for one thing quickly, and that is the Leaf Storm. And Heatran eats this up because Heatran does not care. Even though, look at that, that was a crit. So he raises up his special attack to +2 due to the ability of Contrary. I get some health back from leftovers. He quickly recalls Snack into UCD Uxie again. And I go for the Stealth Rock this time around. I believe I recall on the assumption that he was going to paralyze. No, I stood in and got paralyzed. I think internally I was thinking of swapping out. So now both my Pokemon are paralyzed. Go straight for the Lava Plume. And like I said, Uxie is pretty much bulky. It ate the Lava Plume like a champ. He goes for the Side Shock. Rarely does anything because I do resist it because of my Psychic typing. I go for the Lava Plume again. And UC is down. Uxie going down, bringing this battle up to a 6-4 at the moment. He goes back into Manny the Mamoswine. I recall Heatran because I believe he's going to go for Earthquake again, so I go back into Gyarados. Also, the Intimidate kicks in so I can lower his physical attack. Once again, I guess I predicted the Earthquake. This thing I believe is currently faster than me because of the base speed. Goes into Diego, the Raikou. I think I predicted that, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna tell you that I currently did, but I go for the Earthquake. Raikou taking a nice amount of damage. I believe any poke that he would have probably called out to the Superior would have taken a lot. I recall I'm going to Nidoking just because I didn't want to eat in case I did miss or got paralyzed. Nidoking immune to the Thunderbolt. Raikou with leftovers in that usual choice specs. He recalls it out. Back into Schneck, the Superior, who takes damage from the rocks. I go straight into Earth Power. Almost killing Superior. Goes for the Leaf Storm, increases the special attack. But my Nidoking does not care. Goes straight into the Flamethrower, and Schneck is down. Goes into Manny the Mamoswine. Takes again damage from Stealth Rock. He goes for knockoff, knocking off both Nidoking and its Life Orb. Nidoking going down. Now it's at a 5-3. I go into Kyurem. Terravolta. I go straight into the Earth Power because I feel like it would do a hefty amount, and it did not. And Kyurem also goes down. I go up to Hitmontop, lowering his attack. He recalls and I believe goes into Ike the Doublade. I go for Mach Punch, but obviously I can't hit this thing. I recall back. Go into Gyarados. Lower Doublade attack. He goes for Swords Dance. With the deduction now, the increase, he goes back to plus. He goes to +1. Now he goes for Shadow Sneak. I do live it, and I go for Earthquake. And this thing is eviolated, so it didn't take as much damage as I had hoped from the earthquake. So recall the Gyarados back, go back into Hitmontop. Which dude, like I said, it's Intimidate. Now he goes back to neutral. He goes for Shadow Sneak. Doesn't hurt as much. But I cannot physically do anything to Doublade as Hitmontop. So I recall and go back into Gyarados. And bring him back to -1. He goes back into Swords Dance, bringing himself back up to +1. At least I'm correct. With my math and probably all this randomness going up and down. He goes for Iron Head, probably thinking I was going to go into Gardevoir. And Gyarados is down. Now here comes the Gardevoir. So I trace his no guard. I quickly recall just to try to trick him and use Iron Head again. I'm going to Heat Ran. He goes for the Shadow Sneak. I do not resist Ghost moves. Heat Ran took it like a champ. He goes for Sacred Sword. And that is enough to kill Heat Ran. Unfortunately for me. So now I'm kind of in a bad spot, because unless my Gardevoir can kill this Doublade, I'm going to be walled, because Hitmontop isn't able to actually do anything. So I Mega. But he goes to Shadow Sneak, so that way I don't outspeed it. And I am weak to Ghost moves, so Gardevoir goes down. And now I'm stuck in that situation that I didn't want to be in with Hitmontop, because like I said, I can't physically do anything. None of my moves at my disposal is really able to do anything to Blade. So essentially I just have to wait for him to kill me. Slowly kill me. Because I can't do anything to him. Had I had Sucker Punch, maybe something else could have happened. But it is what it is.
And there goes the battle!
So our first battle in this new league, we lost 3-0 to Vinny and the Los Angeles Lucarios. Looking back, I probably could have played a little bit better than I did. Probably should have given Hitmontop something so I can hit Doublade should that situation should have arisen. Probably different thing that I could have done, but probably expecting some of my pokes to actually, I think probably trying to attack and kill the Mamoswine, and me getting frustrated in the process of doing so, probably ultimately cost me some pokes that I didn't need to die soon. But like I said, it is what it is. He did play well towards the second half. But congrats to him. Next week, I believe we fight the we're fighting the unit and the Rhode Island Rhyperiors. So hopefully our luck turns around. But till then, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you then.